Hey Dan, thank you so much for coming in today, man. I had fun. That was an interesting one. We got a lot going on, so I want to break this up into kind of categories. I want to start with the left elbow. Again, I see that primarily as a muscle strain. Seems to be in that brachioradialis muscle, which is kind of that short forearm muscle right here. Plays a big role in the curling. So I do assume that's what did it to you. It plays most of the role when you do that kind of a palm down curl. Typically the underarm curls, that muscle doesn't play a huge role. So I typically see this when people are doing palm down curls or hammer curls a little too heavy or a little too frequent and getting that ticked off. So I'm not sure exactly how yours happened if you weren't doing those variations, but hey, it happened and here we are. So the way I want to treat that, again, I treat every orthopedic issue. I want to address three things. I want to address the inflammation, I want to address the mobility, and I want to address the strength. So for the inflammation on that, I do think starting to ice it will help. We noticed after we did a little anti-inflammatory with the ultrasound that there was less pain, a little less catchy. So I definitely think ice on that is a good idea. A couple times a day would be ideal for about 5 to 10 minutes at a time. But I'm not going to be picky, man. Just get some ice on whenever you can. There's not a whole lot of mobility to work on there as far as like a stretcher. It wasn't tight, but obviously you have a spot that's a little sore. So I just think some light massage. We're not going to get crazy. You can just use hands. You can use a little bit of a tool. Heck, use a little pen or pencil. Just anything just to kind of break up some of that kind of scarring and inflammation that's in there. Don't get too aggressive. Just a nice gentle massage. And then really what we're going to make our money on that one is we need to, so again, it's been injured for a little while, never quite got recovered yet, hasn't been put through the ringer yet, right? So we need to get that muscle to learn how to just regain its stamina. So I want you to hold, we're starting around 3 pounds, 2 to 3 pounds. Again, palm down and just holding. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I don't really have an end goal for you other than I want it to match the right arm. So if the right arm can hold a 10-pound weight out here for 30 seconds, well then of course that's where I want the left one eventually. It's just gonna be a daily progression to get you there. So right now, I kind of see what your baseline is, and a few times a day, just whenever you can think about it, just hold that weight and grab it, hold it out, for 20 seconds. All right, I'm starting to get a little achy, done, be done, little massage, great, done. Few more times that day, just keep going, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Once you can knock out 30 seconds, no problem, then you can up the weight. I would go as small increments as you can. But again, we're trying to get it to where it can match the other arm. So I'm hoping in a couple weeks, you're able to knock out easily 5-pound holds, if not 8 to 10-pound holds with that arm. Once you can match what the right arm can do, then we're back curling, but not until then. Sorry, that one's it just takes a second. But again, I think a couple weeks tops and we're there. For the neck, obviously we got some neck arthritis, some wear and tear. Good news is the muscle tension wasn't terrible. I think you've done a good job on the muscle tension, but obviously just the stiff spine in general, it's hurting that blind spot. It's hurting that side bend. So I would, number one, get back on your old neck routine, and feel free to send me that list when you get it. The two that I really want to promote the most, one is a stretch. What should help, again, this arm's gonna get tingly when you kind of go back and down. That's compression. Everything's getting all tight down here in that nerve, and it's compressing that nerve and getting the tingle. So the opposite is what we want to promote. We want to promote down and over. Again, I love this armpit type stretch where you pull your nose to your armpit and it opens up all this area back here. So first is just getting this stretch whenever you can think of it. And then second is, hey, let's do some arm work. Let's do some rocking back and forth. Let's do some stretching. Just anything you can do that feels, I want it to feel good. I want there to be no tingle. And we're just trying to separate this tight neck from this shoulder, because when they kind of become friends like this, that's when you get the tingle. So again, with all of these, if they're pain-free and they're comfortable, you can't do it enough. So I want you just walking around doing this stretch just all day, every day. And you can't do that one enough. The second one on the neck I really want to promote are those retractions. And I know that's part of your list. We're going to get back on that. But, you know, normalcy to think about this when you're doing your computer work. We all kind of get in this forward head position here, and that puts a lot of strain on that upper neck. But again, if you can kind of retract back like you're making a double chin, we want flat here on that spine. That's what we're going for. So you're not dipping down, you're not looking up, you're staying level, just pulling everything back. Strengthens those muscles back there, keeps you from getting that forward head too much. So that's a little more prevention. This one's the treatment. This is gonna get rid of that tingle whenever it's there. And this one is the prevention. Nice, good posture. Next time we meet, posture is gonna be a little bit higher on my priority list. So we got the left arm treatment plan. We got the right arm, or excuse me, the right arm symptoms, but mainly the neck, that stretch, and some deep cervical. And then the last phase, I think, is just your general weightlifting. What I want you to do is keep doing what you've been doing recently. I know that you eliminated a handful of movements because, you know, there was some curl involved or those lat pulls, and we're just getting too much elbow flexion. I'd say the next day or two, if you see that this elbow is going to point, if we're pointing in the right direction, I think you can do all these movements that you've been avoiding, but we just got to drop that weight way down. Because I know you can do it against air, and I know you can do it very light. So drop the weight by 50, 60, 75%, you know, whatever you got to get it so you can do it comfortably. If you drop your weight 75% and you still can't do it, it ain't worth it. So let's try to modify the intensity a little bit, drop that weight down, see if you can get through these movements. I still think curls, specific, just isolated curls, probably not good until we get this right. But I think some of the other things like the reverse flies and the lat pulls, and I think I say let's give it a shot. Just know, yeah, if that's talking to you, it was too much. If you get the right arm talking to you, then, you know, definitely it was a little too much. So I don't think that'll happen if you drop the weights. So I hope that works, man. I know that's a lot. I'm sorry for it's kind of all over the place, but I think we can get this muscle straightened down in a couple weeks. I think I want to see a reduction in the frequency of how often you're feeling the shoulder tingles, or at least, if not a reduction in the frequency, at least that when you feel it, you have a remedy. And we're going down and left to remedy that. And then, yeah, I think your weightlifting can, just as long as you keep the weights light. Again, the name of the game right now isn't strength. The name of the game right now is, can I just do things comfortably and still stay mobile? You know, motion. I like motion is lotion. So keep moving instead of absolute avoidance right now. I hope that helps. I really think it'll keep things a little less symptomatic. And again, I think the next step is kind of long-term, looking at, can we get the neck a little bit more flexible? Can we return the elbows to being able to handle a little bit more load? And then kind of bringing posture back into a lot of your strength work. You've obviously done a good job transitioning into a strength program, and it's treated you well. But now I kind of want that to be a little bit of a hybrid between some of your therapy, either for the back or the neck. You know, I don't want it to be, I'm either strengthening or I'm rehabbing. I want there to be a little bit of both in your plan. Is that fair? So we can kind of figure out how the X's and O's work down the road. But hope that helped. Talk soon, man. Take care. Bye.